Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a really different video for me. It is going to be a decluttering video. I am in desperate need of decluttering every single one of these foundations. Well, maybe not every single one decluttering, but I need to figure out what I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of out of all these foundations that I own. So many of these I know are expired, or I just don't really like that much. I'm not using at all. I can get rid of them. I can give them to one of my sisters. This is not where I store my foundation. I just store it in one of my drawers within my vanity, but I brought them all out into this so you guys can see like all of them very easily. All right, so the first one that is on the top here is this Sephora Perfection Mist Airbrush Foundation, and I've had this one for a while. I did a first impression on it. I do like this a lot. I would say it is very comparable to the only other aerosol can foundation that I've ever tried. The Air Flash from Dior is very, very popular, cult favorite, $60 product. This is super expensive. However, this is awesome. Really, really is. Fantastic texture, fantastic finish. Coverage is amazing. I love this foundation. It's really, really good. This I do think is very comparable. I have not tried them side by side. They're totally two different colors, but I do think they're both great. And honestly, I've had both of these for a long, long time. I'm not getting rid of them. Sorry, I'm not. There's going to be a few things in here where you guys are like, if you've had it for a long time, don't you think you should get rid of it? But honestly, no, I'm not getting rid of this. So I'm keeping both of these. All right, next is my Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Foundation. This is a really good one from the drugstore, but it's not my absolute favorite. I think it's a little bit... I'm going to regret doing this, but I think it's a little bit too thick for my liking. I mean, it can work. It's just not my absolute favorite texture. It's very, very creamy, somewhat mousse-like, and it's great coverage. It looks good on the skin, but I feel like it can look a little cakey. So, oh my god, I think I might get rid of this one. I'm like scared of myself. But I have had this not that long, but I don't love it. I'm going to put this in like a maybe pile because I don't feel like I should get rid of it because I haven't had it that long, but at the same time, it's not like, ooh, where's that Super Skin foundation? You know what I mean? So in that case, I should probably just toss it or get rid of it. All right, next, this is actually not a foundation, so I'm not really sure why it's in here, but let me just say this now. I need to toss this. There's no point in trying to give it to someone. I don't want people to hate me. That's why. This product is awful. This sucks so bad. So this is a NARS like liquid bronzer, and this is in the shade Laguna. Okay, so this product is super liquidy, which is fine. And I thought this would be good to like use as a liquid bronzer or mix in with foundations. And upon like doing this, it's like, okay, that goes a long way. I can see this being good. On your skin, it does absolutely nothing. Like maybe if you wore this by itself, but are you an Oompa Loompa? Like no one's gonna do that. This does seriously nothing on your skin. I've tried it so many times, so many different ways. I mean, that looks so pretty. I know the lighting for this video isn't impeccable, but this looks so, so nice. It's so sheeny and glowy, and it's got a really beautiful warm tone to it. This does nothing, guys. There's a reason why you probably haven't heard anyone talk about it, and that's because it sucks. Got both of these overseas. They are the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Foundation, Stay Fresh Foundation, and this is the Infallible Total Cover 24-Hour Foundation. So pretty similar, not really sure why they have two variations of this, because I also have, that I'll talk about in a minute, this Infallible foundation from L'Oreal that you guys I'm sure have seen before. But let's talk about these right now. So I got both of these overseas, and I just don't like either of them. This is just I mean, that doesn't even look that bad. Like, it's actually, I remember it being thicker than it is. Here's what I don't like. Okay, I remember. Do you see this color? It is so orangey. Like, I actually like the consistency of this. I honestly have not used this in so long, I couldn't remember why I didn't like it, but I knew I didn't. This is a weird orangey color, like very, very peachy orange. And I just, unless I mix this with something totally different, which is kind of annoying at times, this isn't going to work. So honestly, I can't even really tell you like, oh, I love how this wears, because I was so turned off by the color that I couldn't really give it a good test. And I just don't want this in my collection. And then this one, the Infallible Total Cover, I actually wore this the other day because I was like, let me just see, like, what is this about? And this is a very thick, like, paste. You guys see that there. Now, it is very moussey. This is actually a decent color. Like, when I'm tan, I can get this to work. It just can look, it kind of reminds me of the Maybelline Superstay in that it can look kind of too thick, too dry, too cakey on my skin. And so for that reason, I do not like this one either. I think the coverage is really good, but I have other foundations that I like the texture so much better. So I'm going to be getting rid of both of those. Let's talk about all of these foundations. Honestly, why do I have so many of these? I'll tell you why. At one point in time, I was so obsessed with this foundation that I wanted literally like every color that I would ever need in my like general skin tone. And also I was doing some wedding makeup, and I really, really did like this for wedding makeup as well. I do think that in the future I would try this again. So while I'm shaking this up, this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Pro Matte. So they also have this one that is the Pro Glow for more dry skin, and I'll talk about that one in a second. This is, God, this is similar to that orangey peach color. This is a really like creamy but not too thick foundation. I do remember really liking this. I remember at one point maybe even talking about it being like my ultimate favorite foundation. I don't know if that's would still be true or not. Maybe I should repurchase this like in a new not expired tube and see what I think. I do remember loving this, so I would try it again in conclusion, but these are taking up space in my collection, and honestly, I don't have any intention of trying to use them. They just, I don't know. I'm just kind of turned off by them, I think, because I've had them for so long. These are going to go in the trash. Now this is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I just said that. 24-hour foundation. So it's supposed to be basically the exact same thing, only a luminous finish. And at one point I thought that might be nice, or it might be nice to mix with other foundations. It's just really glowy, and it creases really badly in my smile lines. It's too wet looking on my skin and makes me feel really, really oily. I'm not a fan of it. This is was wishful thinking on my part. Seeing YouTubers with dry skin try it and it looking great on them and me thinking it would work. I don't have that oily of skin, but my skin's like normal to slightly oily, and even slightly oily is too oily for this in my opinion. So this is definitely going in the trash. Wow. Do you guys remember this EX1 Invisiwear liquid foundation? Oh my God, this has been years since I heard anybody talk about this. I wore this one the other day again because I knew I was going to do this video, and I kind of wanted to see what the idea of this was again. And I'm sorry to say, it just was something that I was like, eh. Like, I used it and I used to like it enough, but it just doesn't do enough for me to where I'm like, ooh, where's that EX1? You know what I mean? That's what I'm kind of thinking about when I do this video is this in my collection? And I'm thinking, where's that foundation? I can't wait to wear it. If the answer is no, I kind of don't want to have it. I just don't really see the point, especially because foundations don't last that long unless you're like me and you're like, I don't care if these are 16 years old, I'm still going to keep these. So this one, I think I would not miss whatsoever, so I'm going to pass on this as well. Bet you guys can tell this is old because this does not even come in this packaging anymore. That's how old this is. They have totally redone the packaging like 2 years ago. This is the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation Luminous Formula. They have so many different foundations now, and for that reason, I don't know if I would repurchase this. They do have this formula, it's just in different packaging. I really did like this foundation, and when I worked at Sephora for like 2 minutes, I did recommend this for people that were a little bit more mature or that had slightly dry skin or normal skin. I really thought this was really nice. You can get awesome coverage out of it. I really do think this is a nice foundation, but like I said, they have so many more foundations from Laura Mercier, so if I were to pick a Laura Mercier foundation, it probably wouldn't be this one at this time. And like I mentioned, this is just so old, so I'm gonna toss this as well. The Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. This is that foundation that has that big doe foot applicator. This is a really good foundation, really good coverage. I am going to hang on to this. I think it's very good, and I usually enjoy how it looks. I used to love this when I first got it. I wore it like every single day. It has fantastic coverage, and it's like 20 bucks, which for a department store or in Sephora type foundation, you know, that you can't find at the drugstore, I do think that's a very good price. And I think the packaging is kind of cool with that doe foot, and I like it. I think that I'll probably get some more use out of it, so I am going to keep this one. All right, stick foundations. I have two. So the first one is the Sephora Make No Mistake foundation. I did a first impression video on this. I can link that down below. And I do like it, but I feel like it's just okay. I actually might see if one of my sisters would like this because especially my sister Morgan, well, I guess both of them, they both don't really need a super matte foundation, and I think that this might match at least one of them. So I probably will pass this to them because I know that they would like it more than I do. So I'm going to set that aside. The Hourglass Vanishing Stick, is that what this is called? I don't even know. I think this is called the Vanishing Stick. This is a stunning foundation. This is so beautiful. Mine is in the shade beige, which is not beige at all, if you can see that there. I love this foundation. I think the texture of it is phenomenal. It is pricey because it's Hourglass, but I still think that it's worth it. I mean, this is definitely something that if I didn't repurchase it immediately after it ran out, I would eventually want to. So I'm definitely keeping this one. Highly, highly, highly recommend. This is another one I've had for a while, but I still think I'm going to keep it. This is the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation, and I cannot believe it, but I really like this foundation. I can't believe it because, again, I typically, like the Infallible Pro Glow, don't really like a super like glowy foundation. This is a very glowy. It has this cool packaging too, where you twist it up like that, and then it's like a little dropper. I just think this is so pretty, and you know what I really like this for? See how like watery that is? It's almost like just sinks right into the skin. If you have dry skin, I feel like you would probably love this. I love this for mixing in with other foundations, especially because this is pretty warm for me. It's pretty tan. I really like to mix this with like a light color foundation that maybe I really love, but it's too light for me. I would mix this in, or maybe it's like too dry of a formula, but I still want to wear it. I would definitely pull this one out, and so I will be keeping this one as well. This Naked Skin One and Done from Urban Decay. This is kind of cool. I remember being pleasantly surprised by this because of the type of coverage that it gave you. I was expecting, okay, one and done. I'm not a one and done person. I'm a take 4 hours on your makeup type of person, and so something like this reminded me of like a BB cream, and I was like, oh, I'm probably not gonna like that. But I did really like this. I didn't wear this past summer. I wore it like the summer before, so there you go. That tells you how old it is. I think I could get rid of it, but I'm going to put this in the maybe pile because I'm a little bit like, oh, the SPF is nice and it can be kind of lightweight and I can use just a little bit. And what if I'm going like outside all day? I don't know. I'm a little bit hesitant to throw this away. This is something that you learn in these videos are things like, wow, I really thought I would probably go ahead and toss this, but now I'm wanting to put it in the maybe pile. So there you have it. Maybe. This Sonia Kashuk foundation is not that old compared to all these other ones. This is her Soft Focus Satin Matte Foundation, and you can find Sonia Kashuk products at Target. This is a really nice package. It's a glass bottle. It has a pump. I believe this foundation is $12, and this is a fantastic foundation. I really need to pull this out more. It's the scent. It smells very powdery slash floral, and I just don't like it. It's not that I'm one of those people that's like, oh my god, scent bothers me so much. It just bothers me enough to where I'm like, I don't need to wear that one today. Which is, it's not very like good of me, because, you know, I should get use out of the things that I have. This is matte. This is not powdery matte. It's a very nice matte finish, full coverage. It's a good color for when I'm tan. I think I will hold on to it, but the smell, I don't enjoy the smell at all when I'm applying this to my face. I really don't. I wish that companies wouldn't do that, because smells are not objective. I mean, some people are going to like them, some people aren't, and I'm one of the people who do not like this one. But I'm still going to keep it, because I want to get more use out of it. Do you guys remember Fiona Styles? This used to be carried at Ulta, and I really wish it was, because I didn't get to try the Fiona Styles matte foundation. This is her luminous one, and I think I could probably still find it on the website, but it was just much easier to get at an actual like store like Ulta. I love this packaging. Beautiful glass bottle, beautiful design with this lid. I really, really like it. Of course, has a pump. I remember it being relatively reasonably priced. And why did I get the luminous one is beyond me, because I'm such like a matte person most of the time. But I heard that the matte was like so matte that I was like, oh, maybe the luminous one will be a little bit better. And it is. See how nice that is? I really like it. All these foundations that I'm showing you guys, though, are like so tan, like only for when I'm super tan. So I don't know why I keep buying those shades only. I just really like this. I really, really think that I would probably like the matte one too. So I am going to keep this. I really do like it. It's just, the thing with me and luminous is I have some imperfections on my face, and so that can kind of draw, like luminosity can kind of draw attention to that sometimes. Plus, I can be slightly oily, and I find with like more luminous foundations, I get major smile line creases, which is going to happen with any foundation for me, but it's just worse when I use like a strictly luminous foundation. So anyways, I do like to mix this with some things, so I am going to keep it. Do you guys remember this one? This has been a long time too. This is from Tarte. This is the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. This actually has SPF 15, which I didn't realize. This is a very thick, moussey foundation. 12-hour wear is what it says. I do stand behind that. This is oil-free. It is very soft matte finish, full coverage. So you can see it's coming out kind of thick like that. And then it's kind of like a thick, moussey coverage, or consistency, I should say. I do really like this, and I remember recommending it to people too at Sephora. I think it just is a nice soft matte, somewhat powdery matte. Like it almost looks like a powder after you blend it in. I remember liking this a lot, but I will say that I noticed a decent amount of creasing on me, on my smile lines, and it's just something that I don't love, and so I'll probably get rid of this. It is pretty old. I don't really care for it that much anymore. I shouldn't say that. Like, I would recommend this to you, but at the same time, I'm not going to repurchase it myself. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. I have this in here as this is not a foundation, but I do mix this with foundations, and I think it's awesome. This is from The Body Shop. Isn't that weird? I don't have, like, anything The Body Shop. This is a shade adjusting drop thing, and this is in the shade Lightning. They have one that's for, like, darkening too, but it's very like warm toned, and I don't know, I just didn't feel like that was appropriate. It almost felt like a bronzer. I don't know, I just didn't want to get that one, but this Lightning one is really good, especially when you're doing makeup on other people. It has like a dropper like this. The only thing is, I feel like it used to be like kind of nice and runny, and now it's a little bit like thicker. but it still works. So it's literally like a pure white pigment, and you mix this in with darker foundations, and it doesn't, well, it's supposed to not like change the formula of the foundation or the finish or anything. I feel like that's pretty true. Like, I've used this a bunch, and I've never once been like, wow, look at the difference in my foundation texture or anything like that. I felt like it was pretty good. This wasn't that expensive. I do like it. I would recommend it, and I'm definitely going to keep it. Let's talk about these. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I have two different shades because it was really hard to match myself. One is a lighter shade, golden beige. One is a darker one, desert beige. And sometimes I mix these. I do really like this as a drugstore foundation. Is it my like, oh my god, holy grail? No, but I do really like it. They're not that old. They were like $5.99. I think this would be great for like dry to normal skin. I think that would be awesome. If you're really oily, this would probably not work out for you. If you're a person that's really oily and wants to be relatively matte, probably wouldn't like it. I think you can build this up. It's like a medium coverage, but you can definitely build it up in the areas you need to. I do enjoy using this. I really do. It has this type of packaging where it's like this little spatula. I do like the consistency of the foundation as well. Again, not like my holy grail, but enough to where I definitely want to keep it. This one is a good one and probably one that I'll always have in my collection. This is from L'Oreal. This is their True Match Super Blendable Makeup Foundation, and mine is in the shade W5 Warm. This I usually have on hand to mix with other foundations, which sounds stupid. It's not why I bought it. I bought it to wear by itself, but this is a little bit lighter than me right this minute, so I usually end up using it to mix with two dark foundations. I think this foundation's awesome. They have so many colors to choose from, and all with like either warm, neutral, or cool undertone, which I think is great. It is a very like liquidy foundation, but I actually like that. I don't really know why. Like, see how liquidy that is? I do not know why I like that, but I really do. And I do like this on its own as well. It's very just like good foundation, like not matte, not super luminous, normal natural finish, decent coverage. You can definitely build it up. Great shade selection. I don't know. I like this. I never really want to get rid of these. Anytime I've ever had this in my collection, I'm always like, no, I'll keep that one. So I definitely am going to keep this one as well. This is a foundation from Illamasqua. This is their skin base foundation, and I got this when I was overseas. I love this foundation. This is such a nice foundation though. Like, I remember when I got this because I have never seen Illamasqua in stores where I live. So when I went overseas and I saw this, I was like, holy crap, I have to try something. And maybe I'm gonna wear this tomorrow actually, because I'm looking at this color and I'm like really attracted to how yellow this is. I really, really like this foundation. I think it wears beautifully. They have, as far as I know, two different foundations, and this is the one with less coverage than the other one, and this still has awesome coverage. I think the finish is like a nice natural satin matte, and like I said, the coverage is really good. I just think this looks so good on the skin. I wish there was Illamasqua like in Sephora's and things like that. I would highly recommend it. All right, this pains me. So this is the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation, and what you're looking at here is, yes, an unopened bottle of this exact shade. I'm upset. I don't remember why I have this. I guess I just bought a backup. I don't really remember. But the one that I have and had used, I just don't like this foundation anymore. I think that it is way too thick for what I like. I think that it is just not the texture that I'm looking for, and it can look cakey and makeup-y real fast. And I don't mind makeup-y, but it's like a little too makeup-y. Like, look how thick this is. And this color's weird. Like, why did I ever, like, I swear to God, like, this matched me at one point, and this just looks so bizarre to me right now. Like, it looks literally orange. I just don't like this. Like, I don't like this. I don't want it. It's way too thick. It's way too thick. Great coverage, but I cannot get behind this. I am glad that I have a brand new one though, because I can definitely donate this to a women's shelter, and I'm sure somebody would absolutely love a brand new foundation. So this may look familiar from my favorites video that you recently saw, October 2017. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. I would say, especially at this point, this is my absolute favorite drugstore foundation. No questions asked. Every time I wear this foundation, I actually wore this today, I'm always happy with how it looks. I think they're awesome. It is a soft matte finish. Love how long it lasts. I love the coverage that you can get with this. I do wish it had a pump. It doesn't, but I can definitely look past that. I can't really say that it makes you look poreless because I use a pore filling primer on an absolute daily basis, so it's not really fair for me to say like, yeah, it looks poreless, because that doesn't make any sense. That being said, highly recommend, definitely try it out. It's under $10. And last but not least, can you guys guess what it is? You guys saw it in my favorites video. The Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Foundation. This is my most recent foundation purchase. I absolutely adore this foundation. Absolutely ride or die best foundation I've ever used. This is very, very close to the Hourglass as far as how much I love it, but I do like the Estee Lauder one the most. I would say top 3 foundations, they are all high-end, I'm so sorry, but would be the Dior Flash, the Hourglass, and the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I think these are all impeccable. And then I do like the Maybelline Matte and Poreless for a drugstore option. These are like, holy crap, good foundations. This is my favorite though, and it's because it has awesome full coverage. It is not thick, but it gives you full coverage. It's quite liquidy. This is a matte finish, but it doesn't look cakey. It stays forever. It's one of the only foundations that I've ever found that creases as minimally as possible on my smile lines. You will look like you're wearing makeup with this, but in my opinion, it's not gonna look cakey like this one would make me look. And again, obviously my channel, this is all my opinions. I know some people who love this, but I just like this so much more, and it still gives you the coverage that this one will provide. It will still give you that same full coverage, but it won't feel so thick and like mask-like. I did mention, and I'll mention again here in my favorites video, that you will look like you're wearing makeup, but you also will feel it slightly on your face, and that doesn't bother me because I like wearing makeup and I don't ever try to look like I'm not wearing makeup. But it sets itself, because it's so long wearing, it really will set itself almost like a lacquer feeling. So you will feel it like on your jawline, like setting itself, but it doesn't feel like uncomfortable. Unless you're somebody who isn't used to wearing foundation, then you'll probably hate it. But I die for this foundation. I absolutely love it. I'm so glad I ended on that note, because these are the foundations that I'm going to be keeping. Way too many for anyone to ever need, but I am actually getting rid of quite a few. These are in the maybe pile, and you know what? I'm getting rid of these. I really am getting rid of these. I am happy with what I'm keeping over here. I am getting rid of all of these, and I'm donating this one. I'm so excited. Why is this there? I'm giving this to my sisters. So I am really happy. This has been long overdue. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and literally just chatting with me while I declutter and clean out my makeup. If you guys have any foundation recommendations, or if you have any questions about anything that I talked about here today, definitely leave it in the comments below. I will be sure to answer you right away. Thanks again so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you hopefully soon in my next video. Thanks. Bye.